So when I started my career versus where I am now are two completely different places, but they are somehow intertwined. Um, After school, I started studying psychology and I started working as a paramedic. I did that for a couple of years. It was massively exciting, the lights and the sirens. I spent a year and a half on Madikwe Game Reserve as the reserve medic, which was phenomenal because I was dodging elephants and rhinos instead of buses and taxis in my little 4x4 ambulance. Um, but shortly after that, I transitioned to journalism full time. So both my parents are journalists. I always said I would never be a journalist. I tried very hard not to be a journalist, but here we are. And I think one of the things that has helped fuel my transitions is firstly ADHD, and secondly, the fact that at their core, I don't see that much of a difference between psychology, journalism, and even emergency services because they're all healing professions, and they are at their core about people. And even though I never knew what I wanted to do, I knew that I wanted to work with people and I knew that I wanted to make a difference. And whether through counseling, which is the power of stories on a one-on-one basis, or through journalism in the news, which is the power of stories on a much, much broader scale, or sitting in the back of an ambulance and holding someone's hand while listening to their stories. There is immense power and immense healing in the stories we tell and the stories we hear. And regardless of where I ended up or where I might still end up, I know that those stories and the healing that they bring, that will be at the heart of what I do. I think our stories, my story, your stories, those are our superpowers. There is nothing as powerful as hearing or telling a story with conviction and with passion. I am cynical about a lot of things, but there's one thing that I believe in, and that is if you want to change the world, your story is still the most powerful tool at your disposal to do that. The stories we share, the stories we tell, the stories we hear do shape our world. And I've seen that time and time again through the work that I do. And I think by owning your story, owning your narrative and leaning into it, you can change the world, not just for yourself, but for others as well. You can create the world that you want and the world that you deserve. Stories are what hold us together. They are what set us apart, but they're also the bridges that connect us. And there are few things as inherent in our DNA as people as the power of storytelling. I've been in a number of situations where I have had to speak up, not just for myself, but for others as well. I have a motto that I live by. I have a tattoo on my arm that reads, "Were you brave?" That was a tattoo that a very close friend of mine had before she passed. And she always told me that bravery doesn't always mean running into a hail of bullets. It doesn't always mean being in the center of the chaos. Sometimes bravery just means standing up and speaking out for what's right. And sometimes bravery just means living to fight another day. So when it comes to the importance of speaking out, absolutely, it is critical. We are here to speak truth to power, even when our voices shake. My advice to Gen Zs is, firstly, surround yourself with excellence. There are few things as amazing as having a group of people around you who are as excited, as passionate, as smart, if not smarter, than you are. Don't be afraid of that. Lean into it. You don't need to know everything. There are people around you who do. And if we all work together, we can bring those skills, those talents, and those passions together to shape the world that we want. Be curious. You don't have to know everything. but you do have to ask. You do have to explore. You do have to navigate it, have a sense of adventure. That is incredibly, incredibly important. I think in today's day and age, mental health is such an important conversation to be having. And if you're not a little bit anxious or a little bit depressed, then I'd like to say you probably don't know what's happening in the world around you, because it is a scary place to be at the moment. But burnout is not a badge of honor. Rest is important. And that bravery, that sometimes means you do go to sleep just so that you can live another day. Reach out to the people around you. Reach out to other people who are struggling. We are here together. We are in this together. We are in this world together. And only together can we make it a better place.